Hello and welcome back to Bertie Bus, the one and only YouTube channel. We are in Barnsley Retail Park. Zoe's just nipped off back to her house to take some paperwork, and also we've got some new mics that we've ordered. Some they call them button mics, and they're a lot smaller than these. They're just tiny. So we've ordered them. They weren't too expensive, and I thought, well, we'll give them a try and see what they're like. So yeah, so they've just come. So Zoe's gone back to pick them up. So I'm in charge of the dogs while we wait here. We've got 3 hours here, time parking. So yeah, so just sat waiting at the moment, and then we are heading off again, guys. So not 100% sure where we're going actually. I think we could be going up to Northumberland, back to Bamborough Castle, because we love it up there. And there is a camping and caravan site that's opened up that's a couple of miles from sea houses that we've been to before, and we loved it there because it's only just across the road from beach, and dogs love it there. And it's a lovely walk both ways, one into sea houses, other way into Bamborough along beach. So yeah, so we haven't been by the sea for a bit, so we think we're going there next, so we're looking forward to that. And then I've got to be back again in 2 weeks. Have you guys had this? I mean, the dogs have been pestering me for the last few years, since I was 55, about this wellness check. How many guys have had this wellness check? Put it in your comments. I've never had it. I keep fobbing it off, and they keep sending me a text message every few months asking me to go for this wellness check. And I think you have your cholesterol. I've already had my cholesterol done anyway recently, but yeah, blood pressure, cholesterol, all things like that. So if you've had it done, guys, please send a message or comment and tell me what's involved in all this. Zoe's pestering me to get it done. I always worry about it because I always think, I fob it off and I'm not that bothered, just in case I find anything, because I don't want to keep coming back. It's one of them, innit, and I've got my head buried in sand. I think I'm quite healthy, but you just never know, do you? And I don't want them to find anything because I don't want to know. It's one of them. So like a bit apprehensive, but I says to Zoe, says, "Oh, go," and then I'll go for this wellness check. So I've got that in 2 weeks, so I do have to come back for that. Yeah, so sat here just reflecting on things really, and it's funny how I'm thinking at the moment. You get to this time, I'm like 50. I'll admit I'm 59. I'm not 60. I'm 59. Zoe says I'm 60. I'm not. I'm 59. I'd like to think I was 58, but you know. And you know, now you think about your life kind of at this stage, don't you? You know, when you get to a point in your life where you've got a lot less time left than you've lived, if you know what I mean. You've turned the corner, haven't you? And so time becomes more important to you, I think, at this stage, because your time's running out. You know what I mean, more than you've actually lived. So you do think about things so differently. Well, I do. You know, when you're young and brash and, you know, you think you're going to live forever, don't you? But at our time in life, you start to think things differently, and you reflect on things more, and you appreciate your time a lot more, don't you? You have a lot more respect for things and what you're doing, and you look back on your life and think, well, do I have regrets or not? I think everybody has regrets. Nobody's perfect, are they? We all make mistakes. Yes, I have regrets in my life, and yes, I've done a lot of good things in my life also. So, you know, you can't change the past. The past is gone. You can only look forward. So it's how you change your life from now. There are lots of things that we've not taught you about. I mean, not so much Zoe, because I've only been with Zoe for 3 years now, I think. Yeah, three, nearly 4 years. So, but yeah, obviously I had a life before Zoe and all the rest of it. Some of it you already know, guys. A lot you don't. Yeah, and then, you know, you go through school and everything, which, you know, I didn't have a great time at school. But, you know, I got to something like 14, and then I got acne. Really, really bad. Really bad, as I'm sure you can tell, which is why I have a lot of scarrings on my face and my neck. Really, really bad. And I had that right way up until early adult life. And that completely destroys your confidence, guys. You're so embarrassed and you don't want to go out in public, and at a time when you're such a young age, really changes your personality, I think, because you lose all your confidence in yourself. You're not a confident person because you're embarrassed about how you look all the time. So I went through that phase of being so unhappy and so miserable because I had a face full of spots and everybody were laughing at you, and I had all that, you know, and that took me right way up to being 21, 22-year-old, really bad. And then eventually the doctors put me on a course of rocketing. I don't know, it's a long time ago, but it's a really, really strong drug. They have to keep checking your blood pressure and that, and you've got to be on it for so many weeks, and it really dries your skin out, and it cured it, guys, completely cured it. But unfortunately left all the scarring, and there's nothing I can do about that. I just wish I'd went on this drug a lot younger to stop it, but the doctors won't prescribe it. I didn't even know it existed, this treatment. Doctors won't prescribe it because it's just generally acne in teenagers, and you'll grow out of it, and you know, all that type of thing. They did put me on certain tablets, but not the Roaccutane, whatever it's called. Oxy something or other, they called the tablets. And that didn't seem to have much effect. But eventually I had it for years, and the scarring and the damage had already been done, guys. So, you know, by the time they put me on that drug to stop it, that's one of my regrets. I wish they'd have put me on that right at the beginning just to stop it in the first place, but they didn't. But you can't change that, can you? So, yeah, so if you ever wonder why I've got such bad scarring, that is the reason why. And surprised I've got so much confidence right now, I don't know. I don't know where this comes from. As you get older, you don't really care, do you? But as a teenager, you really, really do, don't you? You know, I've had really good jobs. I've been really well paid in the past. I've been self-employed before now, as you know, as a builder. I designed and built my own house. You know, I have been married before. I was married 16 years, I think. I've got 2 children, a son and a daughter. My son we only met last night for his 27th birthday. You know, there's a lot of history with my son. My son was born with congenital heart disease from a baby. He's been in and out of hospital most of his life. We lost him. He passed away when he was, and I'm going to get this straight, 6 months old. And we had to have a crash team to him to bring him back. I'm sure he won't mind me telling you this story, guys. Lewis has had shunt operations. He's had a triple bypass. You know, all through his childhood, these are things that I've not talked about. They were really difficult times as a family. And he's doing really, really well. He's still got his problems, obviously, but he's doing really well at the moment. His latest thing is he's got to now swallow a camera, which is in a pill, which is just amazing. The technology now, it's like the size of an anodine, but it's got a camera in it, and he swallows it, and it goes through his body, and then he has to be on laxatives, etc., and to obviously pass it, and then from that, he doesn't even have to go back to a hospital. They can Bluetooth it. Can you believe this? To get all the information that they need for him. So yeah, so Lewis does have serious heart conditions. It's very rare what Lewis has got. So I'm not going into all of that, but yeah, we've had some major heart operations with Lewis. I mean, you're talking 12-hour operations, 50-50 situations with him. Yeah, so we've had all that when I was married. Something else you probably didn't know about me, that I don't talk about much. Well, I did then. But did you know that I used to be a licensed evangelist? Yes, I was a born-again Christian. Mainly when I was going through all the troubles with my son and his condition. Yes, and I helped to run alpha courses. I helped to run an alpha course in Doncaster prison. Can you believe that? And I used to get up and I used to do talks in front of people, not inmates, obviously, in Doncaster prison, all the inmates. but also I did it through Church of England, and I did talks in front of the bishop and that type of thing about my story. Yeah, but they're the times that I was married, and then everything kind of fell apart, because obviously I ended up getting divorced, and my life fell apart, and I turned my back on God, and I went completely opposite way. This is just how your life is, isn't it? So I discovered the dating site, and I've been married a long time. Discovered the dating site, and then I wasn't ready for settling down at all, guys. I was single. I got my house. And I went through a string of girlfriends. I mean, so many girlfriends. Nothing to be proud of, but that's what I did. Didn't want to settle down. Lots of relationships. Of some of them did become more serious. That I were dating for a while. And then time ticked on, and then I'd always think I'd found the right one, and then I'd be seeing her for quite a long time. The latest, my ex before, obviously Zoe. 7 years, I think. Yeah, so did all that. I'm self-employed builder, always wanted to do that. I've had motorbikes, guys. I've had loads and loads of motorbikes, probably something else you didn't know about me. I've been to Isle of Man TT. So many motorbikes, so many Ducatis and CBRs and GSXRs and Fireblade. I had so many different bikes. ZZR, I had one of them as well. So many different ones. I loved my bikes at the time. And then I had a serious accident with my motorbike. Hit a car, actually. Didn't come off too well with that one. And that put me off motorbikes, so I packed it all in. And I've not had a motorbike since, to be honest, because I found that it's not really how good a motorbike rider you are. It's the other people on the road that aren't paying due care and attention sometimes, and you can't stop an accident from happening. So I stopped with the motorbikes. I've done some crazy things on motorbikes. I'm surprised I'm still here. I was a bit of a rebel. And the fast motorbikes, and I used to be in a group of motorbikes and with friends and stuff like that. I've done all that, done all those things, gone to rallies and I'm mad on my bikes. But yeah, since my accident, I didn't do that. That was quite a few years ago. And then, I say your time starts running out, and then I had problems with my business. I've well documented this. And I changed my life, and now this is my new thing that I'm doing now. The van life. I never expected to be doing this. I met Zoe, obviously, online, which is the best thing that's ever happened to me, guys. I've got to be truthful about this, you know what I mean? I met Zoe, and now we've got this life in a van, and I don't have this materialistic thing going on anymore, which has been a good thing. And I have no plan. There is no plan here, guys. I have no thought for the future. I have no agenda. We live day to day, as you know. And it's the first time in my life that I've actually done this. I've always been chasing a dream. Now I just kind of go with the flow, I guess. Maybe because of my age. Could be that. And we live for today, and what will happen tomorrow, and we don't plan anything or do anything. And these, I've got to say, these have been probably the best times, obviously apart from my kids, but the best times in my life, not having the outside pressure and paying bills and mortgages and all the rest of it and things, and debt, getting into debt for motorbikes and what have you. I don't have anything like that now, so I've got rid of all of that. And it's just living this freedom. Yes, I turn my back on God, and I've got to say, I'm not a Bible basher, guys, don't get me wrong. I'm the last person that would do that. But, I've been reflecting on it quite a lot recently. I did turn my back on it all. And whether you believe in God or whether you don't, I think the actual principles of it and, the teachings of it are so good, and it's the moral of it. Do you know what I mean? There is so much evil in the world right now. So much hatred, so many wars, so much death. Every time I get my Facebook post out, there's death everywhere. And there's wars everywhere, and that's all you ever hear now, ain't it, guys? And it's so depressing and so heavy, and there's just so much hatred in people. Do you not find this? I find this. Doing YouTube, has flushed quite a few people out towards us, a lot of hatred with people towards you. So much venom and so violent. And where is all this actually coming from, you know? And I've got to reflect on people that are being vile to us. You know, and if I followed what I know when I used to be in church, you know, you've got to forgive these people. Well, I've gone through a stage where I've turned my back and no, I'm not forgiving everybody. But as I've got older, I've begun to think about it, and it's right what they say. You know these people that are vile towards you and horrible towards you. You do have to forgive them, and you do have to pray for them, because it's their problem. It's not your problem. All you can deal with is yourself and how you are. You can't be accountable for them and how they are. You can't really judge that person, because you can't really judge anybody, because everybody does things wrong, guys. There's nobody perfect in the world, you know. You can't judge somebody for doing something wrong when you've done something wrong yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's very easy to forget that, and you know, nobody's perfect at the end of the day, are they? So I've had to think a lot about that. Okay, now you may think I'm wrong on that you know, you should treat people how they treat you, and I get that. But one thing I am learning, you know, if you do let it go, the peace that you will get yourself, because if you pursue chasing other nasty people and you're as nasty to them as they're to you, it's never ending. Where does it end? You know, so if you do find this inner peace in yourself to say, do you know what, it's not my problem, it's your problem, not mine, you will get your own inner peace in yourself and in your own life. You can sleep at night because you're only dealing with yourself, and as long as you're right, that's all that matters. And I've been doing a little bit of that recently, and I tell you something, it is helping me. So like I said, whether you believe in God or whether you don't, it's your choice. But what I'm saying is, actual teachings of it make you such a better person. And I've been talking length to Zoe about it, and you know, we had some people come to us door a couple of months ago, and Zoe had already met him, and she said, because Zoe knows me past, and Zoe said to me, she says, they do go to church, and I went, right, okay. I says, have you told them about me? And she went, yes. And I went, oh, okay. Do you want to meet them? And I went, no, I don't. So what did Zoe do? She brought them anyway. And the first thing they said to me was about Jesus, okay? And I kind of reeled on my back, and I went, oh, no, I don't want to talk about this. You know, this is in my past. And I went, oh, no, I'm not sure about this. And I felt really kind of uncomfortable about it. And I feel ashamed of that. I shouldn't have done, but I did. Yeah, so I'm kind of going through this transition, guys, at the moment, with a lot of things in his life. You know, when your time's running out, you know, you just want to try and make the best of the time that you've got left, don't you? So, trying to find that inner peace in yourself, I'm beginning to think is more and more important, because if you don't do that, it eats you up. It affects your life, it affects your partner's life, you end up arguing. It's horrible, nasty things and evil things have this habit of growing a lot larger than it needs to be. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's all consuming you. And it doesn't make you a nice person, and it doesn't make you happy doing that. And I need to, and it is hard, and I need to address this, and I need to stop this, and I need to you know, like I said, trying to find this inner peace in myself. Does that mean I'm going to go to church? No, I'm not. But then who knows? I don't really know. Yeah, but I wasn't brought up in Sunday school or anything like that, guys. I didn't find God until, you know, I had all the issues with my son and being in hospital, and we needed all the help we could get. And it's when he went for his christening. We didn't go to church or anything like that, guys. It was nothing like that. But just the thought that we had his christening brought forward because we didn't think we were going to make it. And I think it was just a thought of, people praying for him. And then when we had that situation where we had to have the crash team, it was common that one of the nurses actually said that somebody up there is looking after Lewis, because so the story goes, Lewis has stopped breathing. He'd had a major heart operation, he was on high dependency, and he just stopped breathing. But it was at the time when the doctors were doing the morning round. It was a time when the doctors were doing the morning round, and when they got to Lewis, that's when the machine triggered, because he was obviously hooked up to machines. And they were just there at the right time. Obviously the crash team came to bring him back, but the nurse said, you know, somebody there's looking after him, because when you stop breathing, you've got 3 minutes maybe. And he'd had a lot of internal bleeding, and But yeah, that's it upsets me now just thinking about it. Wow. But I'm not going to go in ins and outs of all of that. That was a horrendous time. And we started going to church from that point, and then I was what you call a born again Christian. I went to an Alpha course myself to church, and I really didn't want to do it, and I was very sceptical and all the rest of it. I nearly pulled out halfway through because I didn't think it was for me. And you know, life has, or God should I say, has different plans for you, doesn't it? Yeah, and then obviously I got divorced, and I lost it, and not so lost. I turned my back on God. And I went completely off rails. So that's kind of what I did. And now, you know, as time's running out, you do reflect on it quite a lot. Done a lot of things in my life. A lot of things. Always going through a phase. Always going through some phase of what I'm doing, like whether it's motorbikes, whether it's church, whether it's being a builder and building my own house, whether it's having a really good job and well paid and a brand new job. Always going through phases, and always chasing the dream, and always chasing more money and the materialistic things in life. And it's only at this stage that I think, you know, it's not about that anymore, is it? It's not about that. It's about your quality of life. It's about you. And it's about whether you're happy or not in doing what you're doing. That's what's important. Finding that inner peace. And I found Zoe, of course. So, you know, who knows what the next chapter in our life is going to be. You know, what's done's done. Can't change it, like we've said. And we just live our life on the road now, and we're happy doing it. You know, we have our stressors with the van. You know, we do worry about money, but you know, always something seems to come along, and YouTube's not been great for us. I'm going to be truthful. When I reflect on YouTube, it was all about sharing his life, but all that's done is then generated a lot of nasty people in his life also that we wouldn't have had, you know, had we have not done YouTube. So it's not been that beneficial for us, really. Opening yourself up, you are going to get the trolls and the haters and all the nasty people, of which used to affect me. Now it doesn't, because like I say, I'm finding this peace within myself, and it's more about them and how they are than me. Yeah, so that's where we're at, guys, right now. So I'm just waiting for Zoe. So you've learnt a little bit more about me, and I'm very deep. I've done a lot of things, as a lot of you guys will have, I'm sure. Lots of things in your life. You don't get to like nearly 6-year-old without doing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Wow, I've done all sorts with my life. So you know, you can't judge a book by its cover, can you? So if you do have a teenager, guys, that has really bad acne and don't know what to do, then I would definitely ask the doctor about this treatment, guys. It worked for me. just stop the spots completely. Well worth it. I wish I'd had done mine sooner. So, but they are reluctant to prescribe it because it's expensive, of course, like anything. But if you push for it with your doctor, I'm sure you know, they would help. So definitely worth trying. Don't make my mistake and leave it too late where you get loads and loads of scarring, guys. So you know, it could save you all this distress. So yeah, if you have any problems, go and ask your doctor about it. I'm going now before I say any more. I hope you enjoyed my little talk. And we'll catch you on our next vlog, guys. At least you know a little bit more about me. And I'm sure Zoe will do one in herself at some point if she wants to, I don't know.